Hello, it's Anthony from Poggiorubino Winery. Taking a little time out from my lunch today and wine tasting today to talk about the 2015 olive oil. Let me tell you something, 2015, certainly legendary vintage for wine all over Tuscany and Italy, and also for olive oil. As many of you know, we did not produce any olive oil in 2014. And 2013, 12, and in the past, these olive groves are under contract. So we weren't allowed to produce any olive oil. 2015 was the first year that we were able to get our hands on some of our acreage and start producing our own olive oil again for use here in our new facility, our food and wine pairing room that we just completed, a new one. And here comes this outstanding vintage of 2015. I know you guys hear me talk about it a lot. Legendary vintage, 5-star. Yeah, 5-star harvests, we have them. Even though it's not a legendary vintage, we have a 5-star harvest. Even though they're not legendary vintages, we still produce and can produce a phenomenal wine. That's not to say we do that every year, of course, but yeah, we're small. We do everything by hand. We have the luxury to do so, and we can produce an ensemble, fantastic wines, regardless of the challenges of the growing season. All growing seasons have challenges, even the good ones. So we do a phenomenal job in that respect. Olive oil, it's the same. I want you to think of it like you do wine. I want you to judge it and examine it the same way you do wine. So 2015 olive oil, man, forget it. It's phenomenal, remarkable, and really truly is a vintage of the century. Listen, olive oil is one of the most healthy products made and produced. It's natural, there's no chemicals, everything done by hand. Brain food coats your nerve endings in your brain that send messages to your brain through the nervous system. It is fat-free. It's great for your heart and your blood, your skin, your hair, you name it. It's phenomenal, and it's food. Many people lived on their olive oil, so listen, I want you to examine it the same way you do wine. Of course, the growing season is where we start, but once the finished product is done, I want you to examine its color. I want you to examine its bouquet. I want you to examine how it sits and how it's represented on your palate. I want you to judge its finish. The true mark of any great wine or olive oil is in its finish. So listen, when it comes to color, this one is truly deep, and it's dark green with hints of light green and lime green and yellow and almost turning into gold color. Remarkable color. I've been handling olive oils my whole career, but I've never really have reached a level of a sophisticated palate until over the past 5 and 6 years of living here. I've been able to use it every day, morning, noon, and night, as everybody does here, and it's become a staple in my diet, and I've been able to hone in my palate on olive oil. And back in America, as you guys probably heard on 60 Minutes back just a couple of weeks ago, you can Google it if you'd like, 60 Minutes Italian wine olive oil. I'm not sure we were all ever drinking any real or eating any real olive oil back home. Even the big producers, it's a mess. It really drives home what I've been telling everybody for the past 6 and 7 years since I've been living here. And throughout my career, you need to order olive oil direct from small family producers. This particular olive grove, we have several in this family, but this particular one produces fruit of a great depth, a great olive fruit of incredible flavor profile. Not by design. Yeah, these olive groves were planted decades ago, before anybody even wanted to buy olive oil or an extra virgin olive oil. It was planted for the family and for their own use. But over the decades, it just happened that way. The olives coming off of these groves and these trees are producing a higher elevation of quality, a higher elevated level of acidity, which is so vitally important in true olive oil. And the flavor profile, it's got a depth that's different. You can go, you know, 100 meters down the road or up the hill or down the hill, and it's just not the same. They're just positioned in this perfectly isolated little area. It's what it is. So I want you to look at it like wine. Examining the color. I haven't seen a color like this in the years that I've been here. And if I was seeing it before when I was at home in America, I didn't notice it as much as I do today now. So really, really, really remarkable color. And I know it sounds crazy, but the aroma here is so intense and it's so powerful, and it's minerally and it's herbally and it's God, it's Tuscany for sure. I mean, it's unmistakable. Wow, what a remarkable aroma and flavor coming out of this guy. Fresh cut grass, lemongrass, pepper, black pepper. It's amazing. Yeah. And pouring it into this plate, I'm going to try some right now. Again, and I'm going to use bread. Many of you might know that professional olive oil tasters use their fingers. I'm going to use bread. But it is remarkable color, remarkable aroma, and now let's put it on our palate. Wow. You know, the acidity hits the sides of your palate just like wine. But man, right down the center, all of a sudden comes this dense, deep, rich, full flavor of oil. Wow, is it delicious. It's coating, even with the bread, it just coats your whole mouth. It's amazing. It really, truly is remarkable. Anybody that loves olive oil or true extra virgin oil or any, you have to own this. It's just too good to be true. And I certainly do, and I'm very serious when I say legendary vintage of the century. Yeah, I'm not just using that to expound it, and it's the legendary century type vintage. Now, a true Tuscan olive oil, you will feel a pepper, a picante on the back of your throat after you finish the oil, and it's certainly coming on real strong in the back of my throat. And that's how you tell a Tuscan olive oil among any others. Only olive oil in the world that's going to give you that picante on the finish. And you know, Tuscan olive oil is legendary and is certainly considered all over the world as the very best made. There's a reason for that, you know. Our trees are cropped and cut in a very special way to capture ventilation. But we have small trees, small production, a small yield off of the tree. So much more concentrated flavor and fruit. Go down to the Mediterranean, go into the southern parts of Italy or Greece and so on. They're huge trees, they're bigger trees. And they produce probably 3 to 5 times the amount of olives that our tree does. And therefore, a little bit more diluted in its flavor. And of course, the temperatures and the altitudes and the ventilation all plays a key role in it. But the way they crop the tree in other areas is wildly different than what we do here. And there's a reason why Tuscan olive oil can be more expensive than the wine. Because it's small, hand done, and it's a lot of work to get these guys finished. This is truly a remarkable vintage of flavor, and it's still all through my mouth. I got to tell you, 2015, 25 euros a bottle. That makes 33 euro delivered to your home when you're ordering 12 bottles or more. Guys, a.poggiorubino@gmail.com. Anthony.poggiorubino@gmail.com. You need to own this. Now, we took back a couple of acres. It doesn't mean I have tons and tons of it. That means you got to order it now because it's going to be gone before my season gets started here. And I would hate for you guys to miss it. Truly, truly, truly a very, very special bottle of olive oil, and a remarkable vintage, as I said. Shoot me that email, send me any thoughts, questions, concerns. It's one of a lifetime, yeah. Give me a shout. Thanks very much. Ciao.